All right, welcome back. It is Wednesday, but this week we had a meeting. The solicitors all met in Charleston. In December, we get together to do a pre-legislative meeting. So the Senate and the House go back, I think, in January, and the prosecutors all get together, the electeds, to talk about some pre-filed bills, some stuff that would help our community and some stuff that would hurt the community, and then we sort of put together a game plan. So we were there Monday and Tuesday doing that. In the meantime, we did have a plea. We had a bunch of pleas, but this one garnered a little bit of attention, so I wanted to share it with you. Myrtle Beach man got 10 years in prison for criminal sexual conduct with a minor. That's what we generally refer to as statutory rape. The young lady, was 15 at the time of the act, and in South Carolina it's illegal to have sexual contact with anybody below the age of 16. So that is, in my opinion, a really low age, but the fact that the defendant was 52 certainly didn't help matters. I tell you that, but it opens up in statutory rape. If the defendant is 18 or 19, somewhere in there, and the victim is 15, there is something called a Romeo clause. So if the perpetrator or the defendant is only a few years older than the victim, then that Romeo clause blocks you from being able to prosecute. Now, statutory rape only deals with the victim. So if the victim is under the age of 16, she cannot consent to sexual intercourse, she or he. Then if she's under 14, it's criminal sexual conduct in the second degree, statutory rape. And then if the child is below the age of 11, it's criminal sexual conduct in the first degree. I'm just giving you all of that. That carries up to 30 years. I'm not telling you that Stuckey was charged with any of those things except criminal sexual conduct in the third degree, because his victim was 15 at the time of the incident. And there was no indication that there was any penetration, which is another part of CSC, but maybe touching. He was also charged with criminal solicitation of a minor. So solicitation is when you invite the minor to have sex. A lot of times with that you'll see child pornography, which was part of this case, where the defendant would send nude pictures of himself, and the victim would send nude pictures of herself. And a lot of times you get into another situation where you say, well, it's consensual. You gotta think of it this way. Anytime you're talking about statutory rape, the state has said below, it's an arbitrary number, but below 16, you cannot consent. You don't. It's up to your parents at that point. You can't consent to having sex. So he is pulling the next 10 years for criminal sexual conduct or statutory rape in the third degree, and solicitation of a minor, and that is for the photographs and the pictures that are kept there on the phone. Some other things that you should be aware of on criminal sexual conduct type cases is, even after you serve the sentence, you may very well remain in jail. Now, how is that fair? That is a civil action. It's not criminal, it's civil, and it is under the Sexual Violent Predators Act. If the Attorney General believes that the series of crimes that you've been charged with rises to the level of noteworthiness they may very well charge you with the Sexually Violent Predators Act, and you will remain in jail even after your sentence. So this may very well bring that to an occasion. That was part of the press release that you saw. You also saw on here that he will have to wear an ankle monitor for the rest of his life. Now that's even when he is able to come off of the sex registry. So if you go to the sheriff's office website, either if you live in Georgetown or if you live in Horry, you can go to their website and there will be a place to pull up the sex registry, and you can just put in your own zip code or your own address and limit the mileage, and it'll show you how many people are in your area that have been put on the sex registry. So Mr. Christopher Stuckey, 52 of Myrtle Beach, when he gets out of prison will be on the sex registry, and he'll be wearing an ankle monitor. What we call those are collateral effects. Like I tell people all the time, sometimes a DUI, you may only get 3 or 4 days in jail for the actual sentence, but the collateral effects or the ripple effects are even bigger sometimes than the jail time. Like with DUI, you would have to go through this ADSAP course. That's expensive. You would have to get SR22 insurance. That's very expensive. You may have to blow into some sort of device to even start your car. That's expensive. You have to go through all of these things to ever get a regular license back. Those are known as collateral effects. In criminal sexual conduct cases, those collateral effects deal with registry. And, you know, that's a tough part of this thing too. So I'm guilty of this, but when I talk to you, many times I just tell you this is a sentence of 10 years. You will have to serve this percentage of that sentence. And really don't go into the collateral effects. But there are enormous collateral effects with certain crimes, and criminal sexual conduct is one of them. I hope that you have a great rest of your week. It is Wednesday, and we'll get back together next week. We're starting, the week before Christmas, we're starting a murder trial. So that should start Monday. We hope that it's over with by Wednesday or Thursday, and I'll let you know sort of how that's going. It'll be the next week before I can tell you how it went. Have a great week.